Imagine for a moment the quintessential image of Aquaman, the regal king, adorned in gold and green, commanding the oceans, a symbol of majesty and authority. Now cast that image aside. Picture instead a man, adrift not just on the surface, but deep within his own shattered psyche. His usually bright, piercing eyes are dulled by an unbearable weight. His posture slumped, carrying the invisible burdens of an empire lost and a family fractured. And then you see it. Where his hand once was, a formidable, glinting harpoon, a stark, brutal extension of his very being. This isn't the Aquaman of triumphant myths. This is Arthur Curry, the broken king, grappling with a darkness that no ocean depth could hide. This was the startling reality of Aquaman during one of the most profoundly difficult periods of his life, a chapter often overshadowed but crucial to understanding the man beneath the trident. Following a series of heart-wrenching personal tragedies, the devastating loss of his son, Koryak, and the painful separation from his beloved Mera, Arthur found himself utterly unmoored. The throne of Atlantis felt a million miles away, a distant memory belonging to another, more fortunate man. He was a king without a kingdom, a father without a son, a husband without a wife. Grief, in its most corrosive form, had taken root, leaving him raw and vulnerable. It was in this crucible of despair that Arthur found himself drawn to an unlikely refuge, the Justice League Detroit. This iteration of the League was, to put it mildly, controversial. It was a smaller, less established team, often seen as a place for heroes who were perhaps struggling or in transition, far from the polished grandeur of its predecessor. For a hero as publicly revered as Aquaman, joining such a group was a testament to how far he had fallen, or perhaps how desperate he was for a place where he didn't have to carry the mantle of a flawless monarch. He sought not glory, but simply a cause, a distraction, a reason to fight. And then came the harrowing physical manifestation of his inner turmoil. During a brutal confrontation with the villain Charybdis, Aquaman's left hand was savagely severed. This wasn't merely a physical injury, it was a symbolic dismemberment, reflecting the severing of his past, his identity, and his connection to the royal lineage he'd once embodied. The classic, golden-gloved hand, so often seen wielding the trident, was gone, replaced by an empty, aching void. The replacement, however, was far from ordinary. It was a harpoon, a long, formidable, and undeniably dangerous weapon, permanently affixed where his hand once was. This wasn't a sleek, technologically advanced prosthetic, nor was it a magically restored limb. It was a gritty, primal instrument of the hunt, a tool of survival in the harshest environments. The harpoon became his new hand, forcing him to adapt, to relearn, to confront his own altered reality every single moment. This radical transformation wasn't merely cosmetic, it was a potent visual metaphor for his darker state of mind. The harpoon hand marked a stark departure from the clean, regal image he had long maintained. The vibrant gold and green of his classic uniform often gave way to muted, darker tones, reflecting the shadows that consumed him. This grittier, almost brutal aesthetic was a direct outward reflection of the rage, pain, and profound sense of loss that festered within him. He no longer looked like a king, he looked like a warrior, scarred and hardened by life's cruelest blows. The harpoon served multiple functions, both practical and symbolic. Functionally, it was a weapon, yes, capable of piercing and grappling, a testament to his raw power. But more profoundly, it was a constant, visible reminder of his grief, a tangible scar that he carried with him always. It was a symbol of his rage against the injustices he had faced, a declaration of his willingness to fight no matter the cost. It also acted as a barrier, perhaps, a physical representation of the emotional walls he had erected around himself, pushing away the world that had seemingly betrayed him. It screamed, "I am changed. I am broken. Do not expect the old Aquaman." This period with the Justice League Detroit, with the harpoon fixed to his arm, was a truly difficult chapter for Arthur Curry. He struggled not only with his physical impairment, but with his place in a world that seemed increasingly alien. Far from the throne of Atlantis, he was just a man, grappling with monumental personal losses, trying to find meaning and purpose in a life that felt utterly stripped bare. It was an era that revealed the immense vulnerability of a hero, often perceived as indestructible, showing us that even kings can break, and that their scars, whether visible or invisible, can define them as profoundly as their triumphs. What are your thoughts on this tumultuous period in Aquaman's history? Did the harpoon hand resonate with you as a symbol of his suffering, or do you prefer his more classic look? Share your insights in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the deeper currents of Arthur Curry's story, remember to like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating lives of our favorite heroes.